I am a very big fan of this project, and I think it's got so much potential. Now, I think the first thing you've got to understand really about RChain is what is it attempting to solve. Now, at the moment we know that Bitcoin can process about 7 transactions a second, Ethereum can do about 15. That is not sufficient enough to run, say, a platform like Facebook, which has about 50,000 transactions a second. So what RChain is looking to do is to solve the scalability issues in blockchain. Now, there are other projects out there that are trying to do the same thing, but I think some of the things I'm going to cover today will really emphasize why I think RChain is probably the most exciting. Now, what you can do is go on to the RChain website, scroll through. They have a brief little video which you can watch, and I'm not going to play it now because you can do it in your own time. But what it does, it explains typically what RChain is looking to do and its motivation. So it's looking to become a blockchain solution with industrial scale utility. RChain must provide content delivery at a scale of Facebook and support transactions at the speed of Visa. So you can see that scaling it is an issue. And we've seen that this year. If you look at the problems with Ethereum, with CryptoKitty end of last year and this year, it is 2018, you can see that as soon as CryptoKitties kicked off, the transactions slowed down on Ethereum. The cost of transactions, I remember waiting 6 hours just for a transaction. It would normally be instantaneous. So there are problems with Ethereum. Now, what you almost need to do is you need to go back 25 years. And you're thinking, 25 years? That seems quite a long time. But there was a new type of mathematics that were worked on by a gentleman down here called Greg Meredith, who's actually the president of RChain Cooperative at the moment. And Greg actually patented. What it's also looking to do is be looking at its scalability. So what it will allow, it will look to operate within these actual nodes, but also it's going to work on what's called a proof of stake. Now, proof of stake is different from proof of work. So if you know about Bitcoin, you understand that you've got miners, they validate transactions. Proof of stake is actually works differently in the sense that you have wallets, you retain your tokens in your wallet, and by keeping your wallet open, having nodes, you actually validate the transactions. Now, the interesting thing about RChain is that it is actually going to use Casper, which is the Ethereum based proof of stake, which is coming in this year. And the gentleman in connection with that is Vlad, is actually joined the board of RChain. So he's working on the Ethereum project and RChain, which is quite unique. You don't tend to have different blockchains supporting each other. But I know that Greg, who I mentioned earlier, who's the president of RChain, he's had many conversations with Vitalik Buterin. They seem to be working quite well with Ethereum. I believe that Greg also went to one of the development meetups for Ethereum, so they seem to be working quite well together. You got Vlad, who's implementing Casper into RChain as well, so you're going to get proof of stake. So it's all very interesting, really. Now, what the RChain offer as well is through Rolang having the scalability and with Casper proof of stake. What Rolang's real strength is that it also allows a real focus on concurrency. What that basically means is when Ethereum works and it records transactions that happen in a certain order, with concurrency, what that basically means is that things can actually come through in a different order and they'll still work. So the system isn't having to wait for certain transactions. So everything is being processed in real time and efficiently, which is another major benefit of Rocalculus and Rolang. Now, if you pair everything that we've discussed and we also look at what they're looking to do with namespaces. Namespaces is, when you send a transaction on Ethereum, you have, or any blockchain, you have a long address and it tries to find that address around the network. what our chain are looking to do is, with namespaces, they're actually looking to have an address, almost like a URL. So you have like an address, then a subfolder, so it allows them to direct the actual payments or transactions down to certain paths. Now that's quite unique, because most blockchains will work purely on an address. This is a way of, again, of speeding up transactions because it knows exactly where to go. So, just to summarize, we've got concurrency with Roland, we've got namespaces, we've got Casper coming across from Ethereum project. You've got the scalability, having different blockchains working on different nodes. It's very different from many of the other projects out there.